Alright, before, this actually used to be empty, but again, like I said before, I was on a shopping spree to get as many cars as I can. So this is the first, or I guess second floor for my garages. Starting off with the Anis 300R. Never use this car, but I just have it to fill up the garage. Again, looks cool. I don't like the top part, why it's the secondary metallic black and then pearlescent yellow. I don't know why, but I think I only did it just because of the lime green. This one SM722. It's kind of weird because of how high the seats are. It looks a little strange, but also never use this vehicle. But it's a nice vehicle to have at least. It's not a convertible, unless it is. Yeah, it's not a convertible. I don't think it is because the hood doesn't come over. From what I'm aware, I think Panther. I'm pretty sure this is it's an electric car, right? Oh, never mind. It's not. But another car that I actually never use either. It's just here to fill in my garage. I think I did pretty good customizing it. Kind of looks like a P-Fister. Next one, the Ignis. I think I sold this car at one point. I think because for some reason, I'm pretty sure it was this vehicle, but at some point, this car was like too low, maybe, where no matter how I drove, if I kept going straight lines or whatever, my car would just bounce all over the place, like just hit something, boom, just flies all over the place, and it was super annoying. I couldn't even go over a curb to even do this shit. It was annoying, and because of that, I think I sold this car, but I bought it back just to have it, and I never use it. I probably won't, but it's a nice car to have. It's definitely a really nice one. Probably the nicest out of all these right now. So yeah, it's a cool car. Next one, the Jaguar. I also like Jaguar. It's it's kind of like the Komoda, I would say, the Komoda or the Obey 9F maybe. It's just here as well. Don't really use it ever. I haven't used it ever since I customized it, so yeah. The Comet S2 Cabrio, again, another Porsche car, but again, not as bad or not as good as the original one. It really isn't, but it's a nice car. It's fine. E23E Goo, okay. But yeah, it's just another vehicle. Again, never use any other Porsche car other than if I had it, the regular one. Sadly, I don't have it. This one, the Bestia GTS. This is actually a car that's kind of stupid. It's apparently a sports or supercar, but if for some reason it costed 500K or something, and it did not feel like it was 500K. It was not worth it. Kind of shitty. It kind of looks ugly because of the top, but for some reason it's 500K or more. I think it was this one. But yeah, not really a car I would ever use. This one, the Chameleon, just called Chameleon. This one never used as well. Just was going through old cars to try to buy them in case if they ever get removed. It just would be nice to have. Never use it ever. This one, the Corsita. I don't think I've ever used this either, but it's definitely a nice one. Better than probably 80% of these other ones besides the Ignis. It's a nice car. Wouldn't recommend buying it though. There's plenty of other cars to buy that are faster and cooler to look at and customizations. And then the Xeno. I think this one's just an electric car. Let me check. Nope. Damn, they're not. They just look like it, but it's a nice car. I think I did pretty good with the pearlescent of metallic black and I think light blue, baby blue. Definitely a pretty good car. I think it's kind of underrated. I don't know why I haven't used it yet. It it definitely does have a unique style, like better style than the other ones in here. The other ones kind of just look the same. So yeah, all these garages or all these cars, my bad. These were all just me at a point where I was desperate to just get all the garage or all the cars that I can get before in case if they were ever removed because of all that shit that they did in the San Andreas Mercenaries DLC. I don't know why they did that. If they're going to do that, the thing that they should do is whenever maybe every week they always try to include some of the cars they removed in Simeon's super or auto shop. There's whatever it is, super autos. That would be dope to actually get because there could be your chance to get them. And from what I'm aware, you can't really get many of the removed cars ever. The only times you could get it is either on the bike shop, like your clubhouse, where if you have the bike auto shop or whatever, then you can actually sometimes get rare bikes that are removed and you can buy them there, or in the auto shop at rare times you can actually get removed cars and buy them, which is cool. I like that. You could also get them from I think the salvage yard, but I think that's also kind of rare too, but it's cool. But I feel like they should do that a lot more on Simeon's auto shop or whatever to make it more useful and not just give us some random shitty cars. Cars that are already available to begin with. That would be dope, so I could actually start buying cars there. Alright, well, yeah, this is the first one. Moving on to the second, or I guess third, garage. And I was, if, and I mean desperate when I was saying desperate, like actually desperate. I bought maybe at least 30 cars, maybe 20 during the time it happened. Alright, so this is the third one. It's not filled up yet, and it probably won't be yet. This one, the Spectre Custom, I think I also bought this one. I feel like it's kind of cool with the color I picked. I think that's like a weird sort of purple with pearlescent yellow. Looks pretty unique, I would say. This, oh, well, it's the Gauntlet Hellfire. This is actually in my office garage, but I kind of switched it out for the black and red one because this is the one that I spent money on. And I was like, you know what? I kind of don't want to get rid of it. Be no point of it. I'm not going to get much money. So I just decided to keep it in here and keep the free one over there in my office garage. So it's just another Gauntlet Hellfire. This one I think I recently got as well, the Sentinel Classic. Another classic car that I like. Many of the classic cars that they have, like sports or supercars, maybe muscle cars, I really like them, and the designs like these definitely shine the most more than many other sports cars. The Neo, this was the car that I really wanted because I remember I bought this when the nightclub came out because it was available, and I bought it. It was cool. I really liked it, but I guess I sold it because I needed money or just didn't want it anymore. So I regretted it because this is actually one of the cars that was removed, and the only way from what I've seen, the way I got it was in the auto shop. So I was pretty lucky, and as soon as I saw it, I bought it immediately and kept it here ever since. And I'm thankful that I have this car. Don't use it too often, but it's definitely a really cool car. It's fast, cool headlights in the back or backlights, whatever, and definitely a nice design overall. Then this, I don't know, it's just here, the Phoenix. It's a car that I kind of like just having because I remember back then in the old GTA, like Story Mode PS3, I would always want to get this car because I like the spoiler in the back, just having it pretty big, and then the front part is really nice as well, and it has some customizations, but it's cool. And then especially the things that I don't know if it was this one, like the high exhausts. I'm not sure, but it's just a car, a really old car, one of the OGs that you can have. So I kept it here, and I don't think I have anything in the next one. And if I don't, we're moving on to the next vehicle garage, and that would be the my apartment, the big apartment. So yeah, let me just check first. Big apartment, most expensive apartment, and I recall when I looked back at the video, this garage had probably the ugliest sort of cars because of the liveries, I would say. And because of that, I just went back and fixed all those cars up. So I think I fixed it up and fixed a lot of them, got rid of the liveries, put some decent colors on it, and I think I did pretty good. So we're starting off with the Saber. This was before it had a shitty livery, the flame ones. And I just got rid of it because I don't know. I feel like I kind of like it, just smooth, no liveries, no sponsorships, just kind of like this. I think I'm just gonna keep it like this. Don't ever use it, but it's a nice card to have because it was free. I got it for free. Tesseract, changed it up a bit. Definitely looks really nice with all white, and thank God I got rid of that horrendous livery. And it's another electric car, but definitely one of the nicer electric cars. The way it looks, it's pretty fast, and I think the only thing I like about electric cars is they're fast, but they don't obviously have a good top speed because you can't keep increasing the top speed. And then also driving backwards is kind of fun. Just being able to drive what it feels like 50, 60 miles per hour, just driving backwards. It's kind of goofy and kind of funny. So I think I like the thing about that. Tesseract also really unique because of the wheels. They glow in the dark, so that's really cool. Front part pretty weird. Looks kind of small, but it's definitely one of my coolest cars that I have, I would say. The Jester race car, these were the two that I was talking about. This one they removed it, and then this one they also removed the regular one, the race car. This one and the regular one. They removed both versions. And I'm glad that I at least got to keep this one, but I wish I was kind of able to keep both of them. And there was another one that I was talking about. The Dubachi. Is it this one? No, it was another one. The Master Crow. No, 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 it's not that. I just said the name. It was a different one. I'll see what it is, but it's a shame that they got rid of that one too. This was the Lynx got rid of the horrendous livery. It was really bad, and thank God I changed it up. This is my new crew color right now, and that's why if you saw just a little before why the fuck my Dominator ASP just suddenly switched colors is because during the recording I was like, fuck that, I'm just gonna switch the color, and I just did. So this is the crew color. Ocelot Lynx definitely looks way better than it was before, and definitely gonna keep it like this. Might not use it as much or ever, but it's nice to have. This one, the Banshee. Banshee's a really good car. It's really nice, and I recall having a livery, different one that kind of looked cool. It was okay, but it definitely wasn't the best, and I decided to just switch it up. So I was able to actually see that this is kind of sort of similar to Tokyo Drift car, the what was it, Hans car, but it's obviously not the exact same actual car. It's a little different, completely different. But this is the most accurate I could say was to his car, and I think it did pretty good. Probably might change the wheels because it looks a little different. It doesn't really look like a Fast and Furious car. I don't think they ever had lightning bolt rims, so yeah, I might change that up. Then the Schlagen GT. I'm pretty sure that's how I say it. This one was the one that had the horrendous livery in the back, the black and ugly red. Definitely got rid of that. Thank God I did, because it's something that was just making this car look horrible, and a car that I never wanted to use. So I'm glad I got rid of that shit. And then the last one is the RE7B. It's kind of a shame that they got rid of the RE7B. I think it's gone. And the Tyrus. I don't know why they removed the Tyrus. I wanted to get that car too. I really did because of the import export, but I can't anymore. It's so annoying. I still don't understand why they got rid of those vehicles. Is it because oh there's too much space? Like I don't know. No one ever bought them, and then just that way we can add more cars. It's kind of pointless. I mean, maybe people couldn't buy them or didn't want to buy them because they didn't have the money for it yet, or just didn't think of it yet. So I'm just thankful that I at least have this car too. I wish I had the Tyrus, but it's a shame that I don't. Now we're moving on to the next one is my 50 car garage. I think I only have 3 of the 5 garages that are full, but it's still quite a lot. You'll see. Alright, starting off with the first floor, 50 car garage. These are sort of my classic cars, I think. So we're starting off with the Monroe, another one of the OG story mode vehicles. Sorry. And I just bought this because I knew that one day it was actually gonna be gone, and I'm pretty sure if I check right now, it actually is gone. So let me check that right now. Pretty sure it's gone. I can check right now. Oh, wait, no. No, it's still here, but I feel like eventually it is gonna get removed soon, especially because of the other vehicles that have been removed, and it kind of sucks. So if you think that you might want to have this car in case if they ever remove it, you should probably buy it soon, or else maybe one day they are gonna remove it. So it's another car that I just want to have because it's one of the OGs, and it's a car that actually looks pretty decent. Doesn't have obviously too many customizations because it's really old, but it's still fine. Then the Mamba, another vehicle that I kind of wanted because of the import export. It's kind of strange because it has a really good engine sound. Yeah, and then it really looks like really nice. You could either make this like a sort of kind of like an old-timey race car or a really nice classy car. And I decided with the classy car, and I think it did pretty good with the customizations. So it's definitely one of the nicer classic cars. The Hermes, this was one that I feel like I'm probably going to change the livery and just make it sort of classy instead of just this. Because I think it doesn't seem fit for a race car like that. So it's a cool car. I recall Dylan having this at one point, but I kind of shit on him because I said, "Oh yeah, shitty car. You have a shitty car," and he sold it. But because of my me being a hypocrite, I decided to buy it because I just wanted it to. So I'm sorry about that, Dylan. But yeah, it's just another classic car to have. Sort of try to reminisce it to what's it called, Doc from Cars, the movie. Not really that good though. This one, the Z-Type, this is actually one of the vehicles that did get removed. It's gone. You can't buy it anymore, which is kind of a shame because it's definitely one of the cars that people wanted at one point because it was kind of expensive. And then I remember this car actually costing like 10 million in story mode. I don't know why, but they decreased it to like I think what 750k maybe. But it was definitely one of the nicer cars because it has such a unique design in the front and definitely looked pretty classy than the other ones. So I'm glad that I at least got it before it got removed. This one, the Roosevelt, never ever use it because it's. I mean, come on, why would I even want to use this? It's just here to be another part of the classy cars. It's just there. It's fine. Never gonna use it though, honestly. Then the Deity. I think this is a car that I used to have before, if I recall. Yeah, I think so. But I think I eventually sold it. It kind of looks like the Paragon R from the front, but I'm not sure. Maybe I might have had it before. I'm not sure. It's just another car though to have sort of classy. It's armored and it's nice, but I really wouldn't recommend ever using it, ever buying it. It probably will stay in the game. Probably not. Just didn't want to risk it. This one, the Hot Knife, it's super small and weird. It kind of looks like, nah, not really. Kind of like the Z type, but not really. It's just sort of, it's kind of meant to be like a muscle car. Yeah, it is a muscle car, but nah, never gonna use this honestly. It's just, eh. And then this is actually a classic car, Peewit Custom, sort of the lowrider. Has a pretty, like, really good, like, livery. The liveries on the lowriders are actually really dope. And I think the way that I did it, like this, with the rims, the black metallic and pearlescent white, the livery, it actually looks really nice. And the seats on it as well are super dope. Really think it's one of the coolest lowrider vehicles. Then the JB 700, it's like a sort of spy car. The spy car from, what was it? Uh, fucking, what was it called? I forgot the name. I'm sorry. I don't know how I forgot. But yeah, just the sort of spy vehicle that people had. I hate that in the story mode, it had machine guns, but like the machine guns on the sides were actually like really strong and pretty cool, and definitely sounded more deadlier. But then when they added it here in this game, it's pretty shit. It's just sort of like shitty, I don't know, machine guns that would be in like in the specialized vehicles that no one would ever use. It's kind of disappointing. I wish that they added the ones that were in story mode. That definitely would have been dope to have, but oh well. And then this one, the Coquette D1, this is actually a classic one, I guess. And it's actually one that came out recently, and I'm glad that I got this for my last one, because it looks nice. It actually does look nice. Definitely have a really good design with the color and the rims and the wheels. And also the thing in the back, I don't know why, it looks pretty nice. It kind of fits the sort of classy theme. Yeah, pretty cool. Next one, we're going to the basement level 2, which I think is full of supercars, maybe? Yeah, this is full of supercars. So we're starting off with the Turismo Omaggio. Never used this car, just here for show, honestly. It's just, kind of looks like the Itali. Not really. Then the Virtue, I think this was the free car that you can get after completing the, what was it, the Drug Wars DLC? The one with the Max? Dax, it was Dax. Yeah, after completing that, you can get this free car. All the missions, pretty cool. It's armored. Well, it doesn't seem like it, but it actually can take a few rockets. It's fast. It may be electric, but it's definitely cool because it's free and it's very helpful for the people that are lower level. So it's cool. I'm actually thinking that it's actually pretty cool and pretty nice. So if anyone out there that is a low level and hasn't gotten this car, would strongly recommend. Could be your first supercar. Next one, the GTO Stinger TT, another vehicle that I bought because of the shopping spree, so I just decided to buy this as well. Thankful that I bought it. May not be a car that I ever use, but it's just nice to have. Pretty unique headlights, pretty kind of cool. And of course, the Zentorno. There's no way I would ever just forget my boy. The Zentorno has been here since like 2014 and definitely was still one of the nicest cars ever. I'm glad that they actually revisited this vehicle and added sort of liveries and everything to just make it even more better, because it was a vehicle that everyone used. This was the vehicle that you would use, I think, to grief, because obviously in the back you couldn't shoot your enemies, you couldn't shoot them through the window, so you would back up, just back up slowly, and while they were just shooting you in the back, they can't kill you. Throw a C4 at them, boom, you would blow them up, and just keep doing that. It was sort of the first vehicle to grief, I guess, not really, but yeah, it was also another vehicle that people would use to like flex that, oh yeah, I have the money and I have this. And it's definitely one of my favorite cars overall, because who wouldn't want this in Torno? Who wouldn't like this in Torno? Then the Krieger, I recall buying this and at one point sold it because I thought that it was cool, but I guess I was also still desperate with money, and I really needed to learn how to handle my money just buying fucking supercars, and especially like this since it was one of the most expensive supercars ever. And then the next one, the T20, also another good car, one of the OGs sort of. It was like came out in like 2014, 15 maybe, not sure, but it's definitely one of the nicest ones. It's the McLaren from real life, and it was also another car, probably one of the most expensive supercars that were out there when they came out, and it was considered one of the fastest too, the fastest. But obviously, it's been overthrown. It's not the best, but it's definitely still one of the nicest because it's the McLaren. Who wouldn't like a McLaren? Then the GP1, another vehicle that I wanted to have because I feared that it was going to get removed. I think I bought this in the auto shop. I didn't buy it myself. I'm pretty sure I bought it from the auto shop. I think the front of it looks pretty cool, but the back of it just looks really weird. It doesn't look fitting for it. Pretty strange with it. I still think it's definitely a nice car. I think it's pretty fast. It really is. But still not the greatest of all time. It's just another car that you could have. Then the Adder, one of the OGs, really is. It is the Bugatti, I guess. One of the OG Bugattis, the car that people would use again to flex because it costed $1 million, and we all know that back then, 2014, trying to get $1 million was not an easy task because of how boring and stupid it was. Because there was nothing to do. What you depend on, like contact missions. There was actually nothing to do, and it really sucked because of that. So having this was pretty sort of respectable. I was like, holy shit, he actually got this vehicle. So yeah, obviously it's not the greatest anymore. There are way other vehicles that are just 10 times better, but it's another car that I'm glad I have, just in case if they ever removed it. The Tyrant, this is the car that has a really nice design, but again, another, it falls in the same category as the Coquette D10. It's really nice, but it's really slow. I'm not even joking. It's actually really slow, slower than the other ones. I would say slower than other cars. I'll probably say that even muscle cars could probably beat this vehicle because it's actually really bad. I think with acceleration, it's not that good. It's not really that fast. People would always use this vehicle in like races, obviously when they wouldn't have a customized vehicle, because they would think that, oh yeah, this car looks really fast, cool design. I could be my enemies with this. Nope, it's pretty slow. So probably never using this because of how slow it is, but it's still really a good design of the car. And then the last one, the Penetrator. Also, the Penetrator, it's not really something that I ever use. It really isn't. I'm just letting you know right now. Many of these cars I don't use, but I just have them just so I can have them. And I think every person, every GT player could probably understand that having a car, having a supercar that you have many hundreds of cars that you probably have, but you just never use because you just depend on vehicles that get you farther, get you faster in places. So yeah, this was another one that I was desperate to just get in case if it was ever removed, in case if I missed out on anything, but didn't really miss out on anything much. So yeah, moving on to the level 3. I think this one's also full of sports cars, but just also some random cars. I'm not sure. We're about to find out right now. Yeah, I think it's sports cars. Alright, we're starting off with the Furore GT. This is another car that I decided to get because it's an old car, so I feel like the vehicles that are at most, like, danger of getting removed are old cars. Probably cars that were around, that came out in 2014 to 2016, maybe. So this one's definitely one of the oldest ones, so I decided to get this as well. And I'm glad I did. It's a decent car, not really. It's just a car, it really doesn't have any good customizations. It has nothing, honestly. It has really, really little customizations, but I just have it for show. Then the Paragon S, one of the cars that came out recently, I'm pretty sure. I think I did pretty good with the cream color, and though I don't understand the livery on top where it fades away. Don't really understand it, but it's whatever. I guess it's cool, I guess. Definitely one of the cool because of the Amani tech, and it kind of sucks that we have to depend on many cars. Only few cars that have the Imani tech that can jam any lock-on missiles, so that's good. But at least there's some way that can at least help us from griefers that just fuck up your day. And any Imani tech vehicle is probably pretty good. So Paragon S, never use it even if it's armored and has the Imani tech, but it's just there for show. And Uber Mac Niobe, is that what it says? The Niobe. Another car that I don't ever use. I don't understand the livery of it. Why are there arrows pointing or facing that way? I don't understand it. The livery on top, like just the overall livery, kind of looks cool. I like the black and then white lines sort of highlighting it, but again, I don't understand this part of the livery. It's just another car that I have that just looks nice. This one kind of surprised me because the Euros X32, it has a pretty good design of cars or customization, but it's a coupes. Again, it kind of surprises me. Some cars that look like sports cars or classy cars are coupes. I don't understand that. I like the lights of it though. It does look pretty cool, and the choice I chose for the livery and the color is definitely a pretty good selection for this car. And then this one, the Envisage, what the Envisage. I'm probably saying that wrong, but this one, I think it came like this. If I'm aware, if I think it is, I think it came kind of like this already. This one actually is pretty cool. I would say it actually is really cool, even though I think it's what, electric. Yeah, it's electric, but it's definitely one of the cooler electric sort of vehicles. Definitely probably up there with the Tesseract design. I don't know why. It actually looks pretty dope. And definitely, I don't really regret buying this at all, even if I'm not going to use it too much. It definitely is a pretty cool vehicle, I would say. And if you're looking for some sports cars that look nice, even if it's electric, this is probably one that I would recommend. Then Futo GTX, this actually used to be in my auto shop, but I just feel like it didn't fit at all in my auto shop, so it just looked really out of place. So I just decided to take it here with the other random sports vehicles I have. It's not that I have a problem with it, it's fine. It doesn't have really great speed as you can see, but it's just here for show, honestly. And then this one, the Remus, this sort of just kind of looks like what? A sort of like the Sultan or the what was it called, the Elegy, sort of kind of looks like it, but it's okay. It's another one of the auto shop, the tuners vehicles. I think you can put drift on this if I'm aware. I'm not sure. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah. And then this one, the Pipistrello, this one is actually dope. It actually really is dope. I would say this is probably the best electric car design. It actually looks really, really cool. The backlights on it are actually dope. Spoilers that you can choose, pretty good selections. Liveries, you can choose whatever. Many of them are kind of cool, I guess. But this is actually probably the best electric car, I would say, in the game. And it's kind of surprising because this is actually the new one that just came out. It's pretty expensive though, 2.9 million for this car. Pretty expensive, but definitely cool to have, I guess. So wouldn't recommend it. Doesn't give you really anything. It's just another supercar, but it's whatever. So it's definitely a nice electric car, and probably the only car I would use that's electric, maybe out of all these other ones. All right, that concludes my 50 car garage. Don't really use all of them yet, but now we're gonna be moving on to, I guess, what's another one? Probably, okay, so what's left is just probably the facility and my hangar. I think that. Oh wait, no, I forgot. I still have these two other places. There's two other places that have garages. So yeah, we're moving on to those now. Alright, this is another vehicle or garage that has supercars mostly. So let's start off with this one. Another one of the, I guess, OG vehicles, Turismo R. I got this I think I've bought this before, but I actually eventually got it for free from the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack, which is pretty stupid. I don't know why I decided to buy that because there was no point of it since I was already sort of a high level when I already got that and already had better places and better vehicles to have. So there was no point of getting it at all. So I just have this. And this is actually one of the crew colors I used to have back in like 2020, I think. So I just kept it like this just for the hell of it. Don't ever use this vehicle because it's kind of slow, I guess I would say, but it's fine. And then the Obey 10F wide body. This is probably the vehicle that looks like the most accurate to an Audi, in a real life Audi. It's really cool. It definitely has a really good design, many good designs, many good customizations, but I think it kind of sucks with the handling. It's not really too good. It can be kind of rough trying to turn, so if that's a problem for you, then wouldn't really try to recommend it. It's pretty expensive too, but it's definitely a nice design. Then we're moving on to the Vision. This one's another, I think, supercar. I'm not sure if it's electric. I don't think so. Nope, it's not. But it looks kind of like similar to the Virtue. If I'm, in my opinion, never use this vehicle. I think I only bought it because one of my friends had it, and I was like, oh yeah, I should probably get that car too, just in case. So vehicle don't use, but definitely is nice having. The Wagner, oof, man, this vehicle is so good. I love it because the unique design, it has such a good design, and the engine sounds really good too. It definitely is pretty good. It's probably one of the, at one point it was really used, the most used vehicle in racing, because it was for some reason definitely like way better than many of the other race cars. I don't know why. Uh, People said that it was by far the best because I think it had good handling. It was pretty good at catching up to people, good speed. It had basically everything, and I really liked it. Obviously, it's not the fastest anymore. It's been overthrown a long time ago, but it was definitely one of the nicest. I don't know if it's still in the game anymore. I don't know if you could still buy it, but I'm glad I got it back. The Cheetah, I think this was another one of the vehicles that was removed, and I'm glad I bought it before because I remember having this back in the story mode, old story mode, and I'm like, damn, this car is actually nice because I actually like the back and the front, and having this car, and obviously it's not the best anymore. No one ever uses this. I don't think I've ever seen anyone use it anymore ever. Don't think I've ever seen anyone in their garage have this anymore. But it's just nice to have because it's the classic car. It reminds me of many good times. I remember one time watching a YouTuber that used this sort of like a skid video as a Batmobile, their mobile. It was fun. I have so many memories with this, and just will always cherish this vehicle. It's really nice, and I'm glad that I was able to buy it before anything happened. This one, I never changed the SC1. I said before that the back looks ugly with the livery, so I should really change this vehicle, but I'm probably never using it either way. So I'm just keeping it like this probably for now. The Zaruso, this is another one of the really expensive cars. I think around 2 point something million. I don't know why it's super expensive, but it doesn't seem like it's worth it being expensive. Then again, many of the supercars that are expensive aren't worth it. They're just for show, just to have it, to spend money. But it's pretty cool. It's cool. Wouldn't really recommend having this if you're looking for a good supercar, I guess. Not really. But the Entity XXR, I think I got this for free because it was actually free for the wheel at one point. So it's pretty cool. I think this one actually looks, well, it basically is kind of like the Entity XF, the vehicle, the classic one, the one that got removed. It looks similar to it because of the lights in the back. But that's pretty much it. I'm still mad that I couldn't get the XF and I only have the XSR. It's a shame. It really is. I feel like what would have been good for Rockstar is if they were gonna remove the cars, they should have told their fan base within the span of before like a month, like give them a month or two, maybe more, to tell them, oh yeah, listen, we're gonna have to remove many of the cars because of some reason or whatever, and uh, they won't be able to. You won't be able to buy them at all anymore. So we're giving you a month or two to try to get them. Like, feel free to try to get them before we remove them. That way you can keep them and you still have a chance to have them and keep them in your garage. But no, they just Didn't say shit at all. Didn't say anything. They just removed all of them, and it sucks so fucking much how many they removed that were so good. And this is one of them, the Vaca, another one of the old OG vehicles, because this is one of the vehicles you could get. I think, yeah, it was one of the old vehicles. This is also like I'm guessing it's sort of supposed to be a Lamborghini. I don't know. Feel free to correct me, but it's really old, really old. There's really no customizations to it, but it's fine. It's a good car to have. It's not super fast at all. It really isn't at all, but it's a good car to have. This one is though the Champion, probably one of the best Imani Tech vehicles. I would say the Champion is really cool, really fast, cool design, cool liveries, really dope, armored, Imani Tech, everything. It's a car that I would say everyone could get or should get because it's definitely one of the nicest ones I have, and I'm thankful that I have this one. And I highly doubt that Rockstar will ever remove vehicles like this, like the Imani Tech. They probably never will, because if they did, they're fucking stupid. What was the point of releasing those if you're just gonna remove them? Anyways, that's all these cars right now. Now we're moving on to the last, I think, office garage, or not office garage, just regular garage, which is this one that I have. And that one is sort of just random cars from what I'm aware. I think that's all of them. This one is sort of just with random cars, but I was kind of trying to also go for off-road cars in here. So yeah, we're starting off with the Yosemite. I feel like I might be saying it wrong, but the Yosemite Rancher is definitely probably the fastest off-road car. I think, I'm not sure, but it's definitely one of the fastest, and it is a Benny's vehicle, which is kind of weird, but it's fine honestly. So it's a fast car, but that's pretty much it honestly. It has some cool customization. I kind of regret making it into a Benny's car because I didn't know it would turn off-road, but it's whatever. Then this piece of shit, the Virus, I got it for free, I think I did, from the wheel, which was so bad. I don't know why anyone would want this anyways. So I just have it here and I'm never using it ever. The Brawler, I don't know if this is still in the game. I don't know if it was removed, but this is another off-road vehicle mostly. Never using it. I never really do at all because there's no point of really having off-road cars in this game. The Karuma Armored, I feel like we can all agree that this vehicle has definitely saved us many, many times in many missions, many heists, many everything. It has saved you with everything. It's the vehicle that everyone recommends whenever you're starting GTA, to always have this car to save you. And if you don't know, maybe you live under a rock and you don't know what I mean, let's start off with this. It's armored, obviously. It may not take RPG bullets, but it's immune to bullets. Like it's armored, like you can't break the windows. You can't get shot through the windows. You might get shot at a few times from the windows, but it's kind of rare. But you're basically immune to that, but then you can actually shoot enemies through that. So it's really good. It has a decent amount of speed. It's not the fastest vehicle. It really isn't. I think it goes only the highest 100 miles per hour, fast or slower than the other ones. But it's a vehicle that you should have because it saves you. It's the vehicle that all low levels should probably have, I would say. And I think we can all respect it and say that this is definitely one of the most important and one of the most useful vehicles in the game. Probably up there with important vehicles like, I don't know, a Presser Mark 2 or whatever. So yeah. And then this, the go-kart. I have the modern one, but I don't use them. I don't use them. They're just for jokes. It's all it really is. They just bought it for jokes. Then the Weevil, I don't know. I probably should have kept the original version. I really don't think it looks really that good with this version, but it's fine. I feel like I probably should just put it back to the regular Volkswagen Beetle. This is just meh. And then the new car that came out, I think it's new. There's just the Merc vehicle that you can get it in the wheel and you can get in the salvage yard for 10,000 if you do the mission and steal the vehicle. It's pretty fast, I guess. Weird customizations. You can actually change the back, have it just a flat bed or just cover the bed. Have a weird exhaust like I have. It kind of looks like a mini truck if you see it. It looks like a weird mini truck, It's just kind of funny to have, and I'm probably keeping it with America because it just looks kind of cool and it's just fine. It really is something. It isn't something that you should get, but it's just funny to have. It was just out for this week's Independence Day, so yeah, it's just that's just pretty much it. So now all we have left is just the facility and the hangars. And I think that basically concludes all of my office garage vehicles. It may not seem like a lot, but man, it's a lot of fucking vehicles. Alright, we're starting off with the facility, and this one, again, it's just specialized vehicles mostly. So we're going over here in this way. So the first one is going to be the Scramjet. Scramjet is definitely one of the most fun vehicles because it has a jump boost and it has an actual boost. And that boost actually lasts longer than any of the other vehicles that have a boost. I think it lasts, what, like 4 seconds, 5 seconds maybe? And it does have a little like a much more longer cooldown than the other ones, but it's not too much that it's unusable. It's really fun though. It really is. It's a fun vehicle to use. It can get you out of tough situations maybe, and it's good because you can actually use the missiles. The missiles are pretty accurate, like really good. Probably Deluxo missiles around there, and again, you can actually, if you don't want to use them, you can actually shoot your weapons, like sticky bombs, anything like that, which is dope, and it's good. It makes sense because, I mean, there's no HUD, doesn't block you from anything. So it's good. It's definitely one of my favorite purchases in the game. It's super fun. Eventually, if you do have the money, would actually recommend buying this vehicle because it's just a really fun weapon to have, or fun vehicle to have. Then the Deluxo. This one used to be the meta back then for griefing as well, because I mean it hovers and it has super accurate missiles. So it really was the meta for quite a while. But ever since the Mark II came out, it's really died down. Doesn't don't really see anyone ever use this to sort of grief in some ways. But the only thing that the Oppressor Mark II is like its downside is it has less missiles, and they aren't as accurate as Deluxos, but it's still not. The Deluxo just doesn't have much to go for, honestly. Maybe the thing that could help is a better speed, but that really wouldn't be good. Or flares, but again, wouldn't be good either. So it's a Deluxo. It's just supposed to be the vehicle from Back to the Future. Obviously, it's not actually taking you back to the future, but it's just a futuristic vehicle, and it's definitely a cool car to have. It has cool ways to customize it. I made it like this. It actually looks really nice, and overall, probably one of the coolest vehicles in the game. After a while, when you have anything else, like you have everything else, you could probably have this just to have for show. It's a cool car to have. It's not the meta anymore. It really isn't. It's not the fastest vehicle anymore, but it has some uses, I guess. And then, of course, the Kanjali. This was the tank. This tank kind of helps me out sometimes in some ways. Let's say, for example, I think the times that I do use this is maybe just to fuck around with my friends, just fuck with them or something, or also do a specific mission on the casino heist setups where we have to steal the laser drills, and the laser drills are basically filled up with a bunch of military people that have what snipers, fucking turrets, people with turrets like truck turrets, like extremely deadly turrets that just fuck you up. And because of that, I use this to help me get rid of all those people in the way. So this has definitely helped me out in some ways. It's not the greatest. Obviously, it can get destroyed easily because of the vehicles that make it hard for it to, have this vehicle destroy them. Because it's not, it's tank missiles or whatever. His tank cannons aren't lock on. You have to hit them and hope that you're lucky and you can actually hit them. It's good though. It's cool. It can drop mines. I think it has what the full tank cannon that can charge up, machine gun turret, and grenade launchers. They can use it. Grenade launchers aren't really that good, but the machine gun can actually be helpful in case if you're getting chased by someone or something. It can be pretty good. And then the vigilante, I think this is definitely my favorite vehicle of all time, like specialized vehicle, well, weapon wise, I guess, because obviously it really isn't similar like the Batmobile, but I guess it's kind of trying to like going for that with the big ass wheels in the back. But it's definitely cool because it has good missiles. It's really good. It shoots kind of slow, but It has really good missiles, accurate missiles. The boost is fucking massive, so you can actually launch cars. You can actually launch yourself if you hit them correctly, hit people correctly. You can launch them with the boost. And dude, the ramming on this vehicle is fucking insane, bro. Because if you keep going really fast using the boost and then try to hit someone, they'll go flying off. Especially, it's so funny when you're in like highways and bridges, you're launching them and they are gone. You can destroy anything in your way. It's so fucking fun. I think the only thing that it struggles is it's not good with speed. I mean, it's not good with handling. The handling is kind of shit. And also, it's not armored, which kind of sucks, but it's whatever. It makes sense to not make it overpowered. But it's definitely one of the coolest vehicles. And one thing that's really helpful about it is it's the only specialized vehicle in the game that you can use for heist. And that's dope. The only one which makes it really useful to get to places, really useful to try to maybe do elite challenges. It gets you to the place, and it's pretty cool. So, yeah. Stromberg, man, this has been overthrown so hard. It's no one ever uses this shit anymore because the Torador came around, and the Torador is basically just this but better because the Torador I think takes a few missiles, it goes under the water and has really accurate missiles, and it has a boost. That's the thing about it. This doesn't really have much to go for. It has some good missiles I think, but that's all it is. It's just a basic car. I think the windows can't break, but I think you can still get shot through it. And all it really goes for is you can have it go underwater, but that's really it. It really isn't good. It's basically just obsolete, the obsolete vehicle. Over there, there's only one vehicle I'm gonna be mentioning, and that's the Night Shark, because all the other ones are ass. The Night Shark is basically just like an insurgent, but I would say definitely a lot more tough in some ways because if you have the armor plating maxed out, you basically cannot get shot at all. No one can shoot you through these, if I'm aware. I think this has mines. I don't think so. But it's pretty good. It's fast. It really is pretty fast, surprisingly. But the only thing about it is since you can't shoot through them, you can't shoot either. Like, they can't shoot through you, but you can't shoot through them either. You have to depend on the machine guns, I guess. And the machine guns are pretty ass, but this thing can take quite a few rockets, so it's definitely helpful in case trying to survive the Oppressor Mark II in some way, but you're not gonna get away or beat it. It's just to survive and stay alive longer. That's all it really is. But it's a cool vehicle to have. I would say better than the Insurgent because it helps at least because in the Surgeon you still can get shot at in many ways, and it's pretty good. I would say it's still good. I remember Dilling, the fuck. I remember Dylan having this at one point, and I also bullied the fuck out of him, saying that that car sucks, and I think he eventually sold it. I'm not sure, and I kind of regret it because he had a point. This car is good. It really is. It can be helpful at many times. These are ass. That is ass. The Doom Fab is ass, and I got this shit for free. Fuck that shit, I'm not talking about that. Moving on to the last thing in the hangar. Alright, last but definitely not least is my hangar. Now this one has quite a few planes, so we're starting off with this one, the Hydra. This one was introduced back in the original heist. It was the plane that was used the most to grief, I would say. Because you could buy it, it was 3 million, and it had a hover mode, which I guess in some ways was helpful, and it basically was just like the laser. But this one was definitely used the most to grief, but obviously not anymore because of the Raiju that exists now, which is better. But at one point, it was really, really annoying seeing this. And as soon as you loaded into a session and saw this in the map, you know you're going to have a rough time, and you cannot do anything at all unless you're lucky and he just ignores, or is just the player just trying to do their missions. And it really is an annoying vehicle at some point, but now it's been kind of overthrown because of many better planes. For example, you could probably just use the sniper, explosive sniper, to take it down. Maybe if you're lucky and you're good with accuracy, the railgun, but also just things like the 811 that can is better at circling and aiming at enemies better, and then also the Raiju again because it's faster. Other things like the Pressure could take it down. There's many things this thing could be taken down now, but it's a good jet to just have because it could still be useful in some ways, because the cannons are still pretty useful in their own way. Then I'm pretty sure this is, what was it? Oh fuck, what was it called? The Pyro. That's what it was. The Pyro. This one, it was I think it was at one point the fastest plane in the game, but now the Raiju came out again, and it that's all it really had to go for, just relying on speed. That's all it really was. It was really fast. It's really good at landing too. It's really easy landing, God. But that's all it really was. The missiles weren't really that great. They were just like buzzard missiles. Machine guns, come on, no one's ever going to use machine guns. That's really all it was. It's good for speed and good for landing. That's all it really is for this plane. But it really does look dope with the thing in the back. This looks awesome. I really think it is really cool having shit like this. Then the 811, or B11, my bad. This was a plane. It's good because it's not that fast. It's not too fast. It's not like the jets that are pretty fast. This one's kind of slower than the other ones. But what it has to go for is it's better in dogfights from what I'm aware. And it may have only the MG explosives. It's not obviously as good as the cannons ones, but it's still really good. It has pretty, and again, same missiles, but it has barrage missiles. It has bombing rounds. It's pretty good, and I think it has flares too, maybe. But I think it's also easy to or easy to land, but it's also kind of easy to get destroyed because I think all you would have to do is just shoot at the wings a few times with like a sniper, and the wings will be like uncontrollable to fly. Like you would constantly be turning left or right without you even controlling it. It would just it would start struggling to being able to handle it, which kind of sucks. So it doesn't have the greatest armor for what I'm aware, but it's definitely really cool. It's just the precision airstrike in Call of Duty. It's cool. It really is cool. And it's still useful in some ways. It really is. People still use it and it's still useful. Now, the Raiju. Okay. Arguably one of the most expensive jets ever. Probably up there with the laser. I think it's more expensive. But I think it definitely is worth it in some way with how expensive it is because it's just basically the Hydra. It's a mixture of the Hydra and the Akula because it's really fast. I think it's faster than the Pyro. It has the hover mode. It may have the MG explosives, explosive MGs. That may not be as good, but they're still good. Explosive, they're still really good. And then the missiles, they're just basic missiles. They're pretty good. And then also the speed on it is insane. And again, with this part, it has the stealth mode, which is good. And I think you can go invisible, like up here offline if you have it. And I think this also has bombing rounds, but or bombing, like well, just bombs. But other than that, it's pretty good. It's really good at handling too. Like if I guess you're going at high speed, I don't know, going up or down, you're it has really good handling with getting balanced altitude, so it's good. It's the jet that people use now, really. The jet that people rely on these days now because it has basically everything you need for a jet. So yeah. Then I think the last plane is the what was this called? Fuck, I forgot what this little shit was called. Let me check. The Starling. Yeah, the Starling. This is something that I mean, you really shouldn't buy. You really shouldn't because the good thing, really, the only good thing about this are the miss or are the boost. It's the boost, but that's only so it could actually get as speed as I don't know, just a normal speed for the jet. Because this fully relies on the boost to stay in the air. Because if you don't, and you start just not using the boost, and you're at an altitude, that shit's gonna start slowing down and just going down, which sucks. It really does. It really has nothing else to go for. Sure, it has bombing rounds, and then it has missiles, but that's it. It's just another basic plane that just is kind of ass, and fully relies on the boost, I would say. So it sucks. And then this one, the Cargobob, only bought the Cargobob for the import export because if you have it like this, or if you just have it as a personal vehicle, you'll be able to just use it every time to easily import and export vehicles. It's easy to use. So that's all it really is for. Obviously, no other purpose. It's just unless you want to carry random cars, just fucking around with your friends, or just use the import export to carry your top range car safely and with less damage. So that's all it really is for. Then the last one is the buzzard. That's all it really is. The buzzard is just the attack helicopter. That's all it is. It's just a buzzard with missiles and machine guns. It's not the best. It never was, honestly. But it's helpful. It's convenient because when you have this as a personal vehicle, you will now be able to call in a buzzard from the Securo serve for free every time. So you can always have it for free every time, and it's convenient. It's really fast. You can order it anytime. So having it is pretty useful. I'm not going to use it, obviously, my personal. I'm just going to have it so I can get the buzzard for free every time on my Securo serve. And that's pretty much it. That's all it really is for. So yeah, those are all my garages, I would say. And man, I'm not joking right now. I have spent hours and hours on this game. And honestly, I don't regret it. I really don't regret it, and I've had a lot of fun playing this game. It really is fun to play, and a lot of the cool cosmetics, a lot of the cool vehicles I can have. It's definitely been really fun and really worth sort of grinding for this game. So I don't really regret at all anything that I've done for this game, and it's definitely one of my favorite of all time. And I'm gonna kind of miss it when GTA 6 comes out and they stop working on this game, which kind of sucks, but it happens. We all have to move on eventually from this game. It's 11 years old almost. It's almost 11 years old. It's absolutely crazy, and it's, I mean, crazy. That's all it really is. So I really hope you enjoyed. I'm probably not gonna make another video like this again, like just another remake, because all I'm gonna really have to go for is just, oh yeah, another video, just a few more cars. That's all it really is. I just wanted to make it again because I feel like I didn't try as much as before. I feel like I was just, oh yeah, whatever. It's there's that, whatever, and that's it. But now that I have a lot more experience, I think I have more money, I have more cars, I have basically everything I need in this game. I can confidently say that everything was fun. It's been fun. And if you think I'm lying, here it is right here. I have spent 767 total, no, 787 million dollars in total I've earned in this game. And I've played this game for 116 days. That's around what? Almost 3 months? Yeah. Around almost 4 months. I'm getting pretty close to that. That's crazy. I've spent hours and hours in this game, and it's been really fun because it's been really grindy, and it's awesome. I really like this game. The many things you can do in this game, heist, businesses, stories, cool stories. I really think it's my favorite and probably my most favorite game of all time. I know I've played more Fortnite in than this game, but this one is still probably I've enjoyed it the most than any other games because this I always look back to and say, man, we always have a blast in this game. Every time we go back to GTA, me and my friends, we always enjoy it. Every time we always find ways to just fuck around and just die, just kill each other. It's fun. This game has definitely brought back many memories, has brought many memories for us, and I look forward to the future for GTA 6. And hopefully that it's not ass, especially since we have been stuck in this fucking game for 10 years. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my total tour of all my vehicles I have right now. I'm probably going to have more vehicles later on in the future to add, but this is all for it right now. This is all I have right now. And do I regret anything? No. Do I think it was a total waste of time? In some ways, yeah. I should have done other things. But I feel like I might make another video of, I don't know, ranking businesses that I have now that I think I've played enough to say what I can say on what is the best business. Don't know though. I don't know if I should. But again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed my whole tour of my garages. Hope this gives you inspiration on that even you can do it. Even you can have as many cars as me and become as rich as me, even if it doesn't seem like 50 mil is that much. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.